Hi there, my name's Andrew Cobin. I'm a board certified specialist in estate planning and probate law, and I want to talk today about estate planning 101. Why do I want to talk about this? Well, it seems that about once a month I get a call and it goes along these lines. I'm not really interested in estate planning, but I do need help with a will. Wow, where to begin with that? Well, estate planning is more than just a will, although certainly a will is going to be a part of that. Estate planning is going to take into consideration 3 different phases in your life. So phase 1, while you're alive and well. There's nothing I want to do with this estate planning business that's going to impact the way I control my assets and property today. Now, that's not always the case. Certain individuals, they may be very wealthy and they've got tax considerations. And in those circumstances, we may intentionally do something with an individual's ability to control their assets for the purposes of reducing their estate tax liability. Other situations may include someone who's looking to do some planning for long-term care, right? So we may do something with the assets to arrange them in such a way to make qualifying for a public benefits program such as Medicaid a little bit easier to do. So estate planning, that first phase we need to consider is while you're alive and well. The second phase we need to consider is if you become incapacitated, right? So I'm not talking about a physical disability here, although that certainly could be the case. I mean that if you can no longer manage your affairs, we need to have a plan in place that takes care of you and your loved ones the way you would have done it if you could have continued to do so yourself. Now that's probably going to involve powers of attorney, and that may involve a trust. Right? And in subsequent videos, we'll talk about what those powers of attorneys are, what they do, what the difference is with the trust, how the trust may come into play in a situation of you being incapacitated. So we have alive and well, we have incapacitation, and then the last phase we need to think about is planning for your death. Right? So that's what that individual who calls and just wanting the will. Right? But it's more than that. Right? We want a plan that transfers what you have to whom you want in the way that you want, right? And that the way that you want, generally speaking, is a way that is tax efficient, time efficient, and transfers to the heirs in such a manner that they get to take advantages of that inheritance, right? So, as you can see, there's a little bit more to that than just simply a will. I like to think of estate planning in those terms, right? While you're alive and well, making sure you control your assets, having a plan for you and your loved ones if you become disabled, and that tax and time-efficient transfer of your wealth to your heirs in a way that they can take advantage of it. It's not just for the rich. I think that's the important thing. In fact, most of my clients, the vast majority of my clients, don't have estate tax issues, right? But they do have other issues. Right? They're concerned about making sure that things go in an efficient way. And you can only do that through estate planning. I like to think that everyone has an estate plan, whether you like it or not. Right? So you can either do the planning, you can sit down, put the work in, and produce a plan that's going to be reflective of your goals, or you can leave it to the default. And the default generally means that we're going to navigate through the court system, and we're going to rely on the rules that the state provides about what happens to your assets and what happens to you if you're incapacitated. So that's not ideal. I think that's pretty easy to see. So that's Estate Planning 101. I'm going to leave it there for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again next time. If you liked what you heard today and found it as fascinating as I do, feel free to share it with a friend by clicking on the link below. Or, if you'd like to learn more or speak with one of our qualified estate attorneys, visit us on the web at ncestateplanning.com. Thanks again for joining us, and look forward to seeing you again soon.